Here. Let's see. Oh, yes, we're here. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Traveling with TWB. It's the big show here for Monday, June the 13th, 2022. Welcome, all of you, from wherever you are in the world today. Let me know where are you watching me from and what is your high temperature today? Are you guys getting real summertime temperatures yet, or are you guys like in a hot thing? Like I hear all kinds of people saying we're in this super hot zone. Others are still getting cool temperatures. Love to know. Jennifer and I, we are in Vienna, Austria right now. Vienna, Austria, right here where I am. It is 6:32 in the evening here in Austria. The sun is still up. We're going to be daylight for another 2.5, 3 hours, and then it'll turn into night. We hit about 80 degrees here today. We just got a thunder shower coming through here, which had been predicted, bringing us into the mid 70s. That's quite all right. Quite easy to take here in beautiful Vienna, Austria. We're in the what's known as the center, the old center. In other words, where this hotel is located, we're in what would have been the walled city of Vienna. Now, over the years and hundreds of years, Vienna has changed a lot. And at one time, Vienna was a very powerful city in that it was the center of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, or whatever it was called. And up until World War One, it was a big deal. The Habsburgs and whoever else was here. So there are some really amazing grand boulevards here, amazing buildings here, castles and palaces and gardens and water fountains. It's just amazing, and we're getting a kick out of it because this isn't what it's like in our hometown. When we were in Creston a year ago, we weren't looking at anything like this, and there was nothing around us near Creston that was anything like this. So, yeah, this is a real treat to experience and see for ourselves. We had just come from Munich. We arrived from Munich on Saturday, and we had been in Munich for about four or so days. So we had been in Berlin prior to that. So Germany is behind us. We're now in Austria, and on Thursday this week, we leave again by train for Zurich in Switzerland. We're heading to Switzerland, and that will begin that portion of our trip. So we're on the road, and we're homeless, and we're going from hotel to hotel if they'll have us. Thankfully, they seem to have pillows available that you can lie on every night, and the hotels are surrounded by coffee shops and restaurants, and that they never seem to run out of food. So thankfully, we're eating well, and we're being looked after by our landlords, and it's all great being a guest of these places. Price of gas in Vienna, oh my God. The price of gas in Vienna, like Germany, it's extremely expensive. You can easily pay about 2.25 euros, $2.25 in euros for a liter of gasoline. So let's just round that up to about $2.50 a liter American. And if you take $2.50 American and multiply it by 3.7 liters, that'll get you 1 gallon of gasoline. That's $9.25. $9.25 a gallon for an American gallon for the cheapest kind of gas around here, generally speaking. It's expensive. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Europe is absolutely experiencing inflation like we are in North America. There's no question about that. Around here, it is the talk of the town. Inflation has kicked in here. Prices are rising, and it's not pretty. Europe has been in a bit of a quasi-recession for over a year now, and the war in Ukraine does not help anything at all. So food prices are rising dramatically, but it is accepted. And the fact that gasoline is 225 a liter, um, euros a liter, it doesn't. There are no demonstrations in the streets. There aren't. Uh, I don't get the vibe here that politicians should be dismissed from office because this is happening. This is a direct result of the Ukraine scenario, and the Ukraine flag for support is everywhere around here. Germany, Austria, they fully support the Ukrainians, no questions asked. So, gas goes to 250 a liter. There won't be any demonstrations. It's the price you have to pay to put the Russians back in their place, and that's what the attitude is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This area is incredible, geographically speaking. You come here as a North American, like Jen and I. We were in a town of 5,000 people a year ago in Creston. Now we're here. We're Calgarians now. Living in a Calgary city of 1.1 million people. Calgary was created by the Canadian Pacific Railroad when it was really created, because prior to that, the area of Calgary was known as Fort Calgary, and it was just a outpost that was just between a couple of intersections, north, south, east, west. But Calgary became a town and then a city because of the CPR, the Canadian Pacific Railroad. And that was 1880, 81, 82, 83. That was really when this happened. The Canadian Pacific Railway was completed coast to coast in 1885. And so to find a building in Calgary that's from 1890 or 1900, that's a big deal. Okay. Where we are right now, let me show you something. I mean, this is just, it's unbelievable. This is a building right beside the hotel we're in right here. This was once a church. It's not even a church anymore. I'm not sure how old this building is, but this could be 150 years old easily. It's now, there's a gym in there, and there's other businesses in there. I don't know what. You can't tear it down. It's impossible. And then the building next to the church is this building here. Again, I can see this right on my window here. Here's this old building. It's 3 stories high. If you look down there are 3 levels of windows, then the 4th floor, then there's a 5th floor, and then there's this huge dome thing here. I don't know if that's hollow. I don't know if this is an opera hall or if this was an equestrian training area. I don't know what this was when it was originally built, but that building is 150 plus years old. I mean, it's been around a while. This building here is on my other side, just next door to our hotel. And you take a look at this structure here, and you go, okay, well, there's 1 floor there, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5, and then 6 at the top there, 6 stories high. But these floors are 20 feet high per floor. So that's like a 12-story building. Like in North America, that's 10 feet per story. Yeah, so that's quite amazing, which is awesome. And then there's this one building here. I caught this building just down the street. I had to hang my phone out of the window, which I can do in this building. I can hold my phone outside. And then I shot this scene of this cream-colored building with these statues on it over here. Ho-hum, just some statues. Quite amazing. And then here's this skyscraper in the background that no one gives a crap about. 50-story building. So what? That's nothing to look at. It's these structures that are 100, 200 years old, 1820, 1780s, 19. This is what steals the show around here in Old Town Vienna. I mean, we're old downtown Vienna. Last night, Jennifer and I went for a little walk, and we went out to a cafe, and you can see me studiously studying the menu of this cafe. But over my shoulder, there was a couple behind us, and then there was a building behind them that just caught Jennifer's eye. I don't know if I can get this to work. I'm sorry. I'm trying to I'm trying to get there. The contrast is so difficult here with the lighting, but it's incredible. This is an intersection behind us where you have trolley lines, at least two or three directions. It's like, yeah, it's a T intersection. So you've got trolley lines intersecting. You have bike lanes. You have pedestrian sidewalk areas. You have car areas. And it's all so sophisticated here and so organized and so mature, and it works. The ground floor of the buildings I was showing you, some of them that are beside this hotel and across the street from the hotel and down this way and down that way. In front of the hotel is like a boulevard. And so you've got a green area in between the two ways. You've got the tram lines dedicated. You have traffic lights, bicycle lanes, sidewalks. And then in the ground floor of these buildings are high-end stores or cafes or restaurants. So you go for a walk and you see, oh, here's a high-end furniture store with really cool artwork type furniture that you put into your downtown Vienna apartment. Of course. I mean, when in Vienna, you're going to have your own apartment. You're going to furnish it with Vienna style artistic furniture. After all, on Friday night when you have friends coming over, you certainly can't have IKEA furniture inside one of these places. I mean, what are you doing? You just don't belong here. So you're looking at, a $5,000 couch. It's amazing. And then the next building, there's a high-end kitchen store for all your kitchen needs. And it's all high-end. Here's a $3,000 cappuccino coffee maker for your apartment. Yeah, it's a different world. This particular area is removed from the rest of Vienna and the rest of the outside world. It's a world in a world. It's kind of neat hanging out. It's just kind of neat seeing it and going, okay, it really exists. Then the high-end clothiers that are here for men's stores and women's stores. Then, of course, nearby you've got the Chanels, the Pradas, the Jimmy Choo shoes, and the Gucci handbag and shoe designers. They're all here. They're all everywhere, but they have their own, unique spots. To me, this is part of the holiday that I've wanted to experience. I want to see part of the other side and get a glimpse at it. What I noticed in London, though, was when we were in London, we went to Harrods, and that's the high-end department store of department stores. And you're walking through that store, and you are seeing some really exclusive stuff. And you look at the clientele, and there are tourists, and then there are visitors to the city, then there are the locals, and then there are the folks that come to London often, and they can afford to shop there, and they sort of come there once a year to drop some money, and they're from everywhere. And a lot of them are from the Mideast, and you really can tell. You look at the husband and the wife and one or two children, and it's a Middle East family of means that are here shopping, all ages. It's interesting to me. I find it fascinating. So then you go to Hamburg, Germany, and you see well-to-do Norwegians and Swedes and Danes from Denmark and Russians, not so much now, but still some, who have kind of escaped from home to hang out here for a while. And then you come down to Berlin, and you get the world, because Berlin is one of those capital cities that are as important as Moscow, Washington, Beijing. It's one of the top 5 world capitals that your country has to have an embassy in. If you want to get a feel for Europe, you're going to at least have an embassy in Berlin. And so Berlin is inundated with world travelers, world diplomats, world business people, serious money in Berlin. There's the poor part of town. There's the average Berliner part of town. There's the student hangout part of town, the backpacker type hostels and all that. And then you got the Berlin of the upper end, and it's big. There's a lot of it, and it's got its own attitude. And then in Munich, we ended up in downtown Munich, across the street from the train station, and we saw the students there, the backpackers. We saw the middle class travelers there. And then we went for dinner one night. I think it was Friday night. We ended up going for dinner. And I found an area of Munich that I took Jennifer to that catered to the German-speaking population. And I specifically wanted to go to a German restaurant that specifically catered to German speakers. And I found it. Because again, Munich and Berlin are so cosmopolitan and are so international. You can go to a sushi restaurant, a Turkish restaurant, an Italian restaurant, a Swiss restaurant, American restaurant, you name it. But to find just German is harder and harder to do, because Germany is not just Germany anymore. So anyway, I got this footage that I shot here from inside the restaurant that we went to. You can see all the steins up there and all the plaques and photos and all the people, coming and going, the staff and stuff. It really is. It was really cool. And we came out of this place. We ate a wonderful meal. And after we were done, we came outside. Let me show you our meal, by the way. We ordered this platter for two. We're talking about a meat fest here. Look at this. Dumplings, 4 dumplings, 4 bratwursts, sauerkraut, pork loin, pork belly, and duck. It's just no room for dessert. We couldn't finish this. And then after we were done, we came out, and I videotaped the restaurant in the area just to kind of get a feel for what this place in Munich was really like. And here's these buildings you can see all again, these ornate from the 1800s, 1700s, early 1900s, rebuilt since the war, blah, 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 type buildings. And here's the restaurant. Outside, there were 200 or 300 people. And inside, there were like 100 people. It was just packed. Look at how deep this goes. Unbelievable. But this was generally a German crowd. Virtually no tourists here, unless a German brought them, because it was out of the way. It wasn't in the touristy part of town. Very interesting to see another side of Europe. Now, Munich and Berlin and Vienna, they do have the suburbs like we do in North America, but it's their suburbs. And their suburbs are different than our suburbs. But since we don't have wheels, we're stuck into downtown. And so we are going to see this area, which is what I wanted. I didn't want to rent a car and drive all around Munich. It's not what I was looking for. But it was very, 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 very fun. We've really enjoyed the trip, and we're really having a good time. Thank you all for being here. Munimo is here. Thumbs ups. Kirk. Hey, Bruce. Kirk from New York City. Traveling to work, buddy. How you doing, man? Aurora, how you doing? Jeannie is here. Hello again, Bruce. To all of you TWBers, Bill and Jeannie are here for the big show from East Tennessee, where today it was 89 degrees over there. Like, holy moly. Aurora, hi there from a very rainy Calgary, and it's going to be rainy for like 3 or 4 more days, isn't it? That's what we hear. Tom Henry, hello there, TWB fans. Terry is here. Price of gas in Vienna is very high. Nikki, greetings from Jacksonville, Florida, 92 degrees. And an afternoon thunderstorm expected. Munimo, electric cars. Yes, indeed. We do see Teslas everywhere. I'll tell you that. Teslas in Munich. Teslas in Berlin. Teslas here. They're here. Nathan, hey, $4.69 a gallon. 91 and 75% humidity. This FedEx driver is melting today. I'll tell you, 469 is below the national average in America. It's unbelievable how expensive gas has become. Louise, I am 1.5 hours from the port of Montreal. I arrived in Cornwall last night. We needed to have our formal proof of vaccine to board the train. Plus, the masks are all still required on Via Rail Canada. Masks are required in Germany and Austria on trains, buses, all mass transit. You must wear a mask as well, interestingly. Rocky, have you crossed the Danube to get a better look at the DC Tower 1 and other skyscrapers? We haven't seen nothing yet. No, not yet, Rocky. Louise, the Zandam leaves on Saturday. I'm very excited and a bit nervous. 2 weeks without cooking will feel very strange. I am the cook tonight for my family. Loaded nachos right on, Louise. It's going to be so great. Sounds like you're enjoying being homeless in Europe. Sounds like things are going well. Indeed, they are. We're enjoying this. Q Plus 2020. If you're not vaccinated, we only have to do the test and bring negative results and have travel insurance, or do we have to pay to have more COVID tests on the Carnival Mardi Gras ship? I think you have to be vaccinated, and I'm not sure if you have to provide negatives tests anymore. I'm not sure about that. Louise, my brother went shopping in London once and ran into Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean, while shopping for shoes. Isn't that great? Nikki, North American news, Oilers knocked out next year, makes 30 years since Canada wins the Stanley Cup. Good luck next year. That's right. They're gone. They were gone quick. Nikki, Thursday, Tesla supercharger in creating opened. Interesting. Louise, I really enjoy German food. Nikki Creston. Nikki, you have said Royal Caribbean was a $40 stock. It closed about $45 on Friday. I did. I told everyone out there when it was in the 80s and the 90s, this is a 40-something stock, and sure enough, it has now arrived at that level. I have some news, some cruise news for you, which I'll give you. By the way, if you're able to give us a thumbs ups, please hit the thumbs up button. Tell me what number you are tonight. We'll love to report it to everybody. We've already got 21 thumbs ups going on this show, and I thank you all so much for that. Every thumbs ups helps more people discover the channel and hang out with us. I hope you enjoyed the videos I uploaded lately. I was able to upload 2 videos from Hamburg, Germany this last week or so, all about the miniature Wonderland or Wunderland Museum. I hope you like those. I had just tons and tons and tons of videos that I had to decide which to load up and which not, and then do the voiceover for it all. And I got a lot of positive responses from a bunch of you, and I thank you all. I do hope you saw it. If you haven't seen the videos yet, do me a favor after this show. Check them out. Let me know what you think. If you like them, give them a thumbs ups as well. It would be so appreciated. Michelle Lucas is in the house, still in Arizona, triple digits here. Hi from Biscuit Boy Randy. Right on. I'm kind of a biscuit boy, except that I'm eating croissants. So right now I'm croissant boy, more than biscuit boy. But when in Vienna, you got to do what you got to do. You got to fit in. You don't want to stand out too much. You want to take attention away from others. Paper City Jeff. Hi everybody. How you doing, man? Welcome to the show tonight. Thanks everybody for being here. Thank you for these thumbs ups. Hit them as much as you can for us. So news on the day, what I have here is I noticed today a story came out. It was out the other day about Carnival. The Carnival ship, known as Carnival Freedom, you might remember about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think she caught fire in, was it Grand Turk, if I'm not mistaken? She was docked, and one of her exhaust funnels caught fire. And they were able to put it out about 20 minutes later, but the damage was pretty severe. They got the ship over to Freeport in the Bahamas into dry dock, and they've taken away all the damaged area and taken out whatever they had to take out. And I guess they've repaired the ship now to the point where it can sail again, and it started sailing 2 days ago, but unlike all the other Carnival ships out there, this Carnival ship just has a stack that just sticks out at the back of the ship like that, and no whale tail. They have to wait until it goes into dry dock which I'm not sure if it's late this year or next year, but something tells me a brand new whale tail has to be built from scratch for this ship, custom built, before they can reinstall that. So for the next number of months, the the Carnival Freedom will be working out of Port Canaveral, doing a series of 5-day cruises, and we'll be heading to Nassau, to Princess Key, and to Grand Turk for 5-day cruises for the foreseeable future. So there might be some real good deals on this ship between now and the end of the year. Watch for that. Sandy's here. Hey, Sandy Rose, hi everybody. I'm number 16 on the thumbs up meter. Rainy today in Medicine Hat, Alberta, waiting for shoulder surgery. Sounds like you are having great adventures. And just to update you all, Jennifer is got a sore. She's got a bad hip, and she went to her doctor before we went on our trip. And she's now in line, basically, to get in line to see the hip specialist, who will then get her into a surgeon for surgery. Unfortunately, the backup is so bad that the estimate for Jennifer to see her specialist is 2 to 2.5 years from now. 2 to 2.5 years, and she's suffering pain all the time. So we're taking every chance we can to go with the wheelchair type scenario, to take the load off. We are taking it very easy. We're not able to do 20,000 steps a day like we used to. So it's a different kind of a holiday. But because I'm working on this channel and my other channel, we're hanging out in the hotel room and we're enjoying the features of the hotels as best we can. But we have to wait for that. Anyway, there you have it. Tom Henry, hi there. Michelle Lucas, long time. We depart next Wednesday for Boston for our back-to-back, inspired by you and Randy cruise. It's been a rough item to complete. It hasn't been easy. Nikki, Royal Caribbean, 42.09 a share right now if you want to buy that stock. Paper City Gamer, Jeff, a lot of people need hip and knee and shoulder surgery as we get older. And unfortunately, this is known as elective surgery, although, the pain can be excruciating. Knees, hips, and shoulders, and name it. Alberta, like everywhere else in North America, backed up. We are actively searching to see if we can put Jennifer perhaps into a private clinic and avoid the 2.5 year possible wait. But that has to be determined if we can pull that off. We'll be working on that when we get back and see if we can get Jen looked after as soon as possible. Other news on the travel front. Apparently, the U.S. Visitors numbers, they're recovering slowly, but they have a long, long way to go. Because the United States made it somewhat onerous to get into the U.S. for a long time, and because other countries were not allowing their citizens to even go to the United States, there were just no flights into the USA from various countries of the world. Now, in Canada's case, we could fly into the USA, but we had to have a negative COVID test and be vaccinated to be able to get into the US. Once we were in the United States, we could take a flight anywhere inside America without testing and without a vaccine. We only had to wear a mask on board in the USA. Now we find that the requirements to come into the United States, they have eliminated the need to get pre-tested. You don't have to have a negative test anymore. I still think you have to have a vaccination, though. You have to be vaccinated, but you don't need a negative test to enter the U.S. any longer. And that Canada's had that now for months, and America's finally doing it the other direction, and for everyone else from Europe coming in. So numbers, U.S. visitors into the United States last year in 2021, the estimates are that visitors to the United States spent about $40.3 billion, $40.3 billion. But compared to 2019, the year before COVID, 190.9 billion was spent. Almost 191 billion was spent in 2019. So the United States is not even at one quarter of the number, not quite 1/5, or just barely over 1/5 of the number. So there's a long, long way to go to catch up to 2019 for American travel businesses. So, of course, the hotels, the Disneylands, the Disney Worlds, the Universals, all the theme parks, all the states, the big cities like New York and Chicago and Los Angeles, they are dying for tourists to come back to America. And we're going to have to see almost a 4 or 5-fold increase to match 2019. Of course, the problem is inflation. We've got now 8.5% inflation in America. The cost for foreigners to come to the US has gone up, not only when you get to America, but to get out of where you are is costing more, let alone to get to America itself. So I suspect it's going to be several years before America can basically get back to the kind of numbers they once had for tourism. It is a long, long road back. Now, to be fair, it's the same in Canada. It's the same in Europe. All these countries are gearing back up again. We have a long way to go. But I can imagine that right now with gasoline in the United States averaging $5 a gallon, and in some parts of the U.S., it is much higher, as some of you know personally. It is going to be a lot different for a lot of people coming back to the U.S. I can see where bus tours might be more popular than renting RVs, or maybe it'll be like a 1-week stay in a hotel without renting a car and going anywhere else. I can see a lot of Americans, obviously, who've been dying to go traveling. They're finding that their dollar doesn't go as far as before. So what they're doing is grabbing an all-inclusive in Mexico or other areas of the Caribbean. A lot of adjusting going on. Now, the other news is that cruise lines are having trouble. A story came out the other day in the Wall Street Journal. Cruise lines are having trouble filling up their ships. Now, they've been operating at between 40 and 60% capacity for months and months and months. And a number of cruise lines, Royal Caribbean being one, they're trying to get their capacity up to 100% again. They're trying to get up to 100% capacity. The problem that they're finding is that they offer their ships up for hire, and they're getting to that 40, 50, 60% range, and then they top out, and they're not able to get the other 40% booked. And this is a problem because these cruise lines are losing money at 60% occupancy. Keeping in mind, of course, it's possible that half the people that are cruising, and maybe even more than half, are what we would call cruisers that had their cruises canceled 2 years ago and so on, who are now cruising on cruise credits. They're not paying any money for these cruises. They're just using up their credits. Remember, a lot of folks were offered 120% credit if they kept their money with the cruise line after the cancellations were done. So there's folks out there with, who had $3,000 with the cruise line. Now they have $3,600 with the cruise line. And the cruise lines are finding that right now, in order to get higher occupancies, they have to lower prices. They have to offer giveaways. Now, I want to ask any of you who are watching, I'm curious, have any of you been receiving offers from your cruise lines, your favorite cruise lines? Have you been getting offers in your emails, like offering free drink packages, or are you getting free gratuity offers? Are any of you guys getting specialty dining deals? Are you getting just out and out packages being sent to you where, 1 week cruise on so-and-so, only so much money? Are you guys, any of you guys getting those kinds of deals your way? Let me know. I'd love to share that with the viewers here who are here live and who are going to watch on the rerun later. In any event, The cruise lines are struggling to get to, and they want to get to 100% occupancy. They've been allowed by the CDC to go up to 100%. They would like to go to that because every passenger that gets on a cruise ship means you have another potential gambler in the casino if you're 18 and over. You have an alcohol drinker, again, depending on the age, and you have a services purchaser for like massages and hair treatments and you name it. And then you've got the tours, those onshore events that the cruise lines make a lot of money on when it comes to commissions for excursions. And so if they can get their numbers up, even if they give away, they offer a room for $100 a night in a balcony per person, but they can then get you to spend $50 a day, $100 a day more while on the ship and taking tours and getting a drink package or whatever they can convince you to do, or you gamble it away. They're going to do whatever they can to fill up those ships, but they are having trouble apparently, and the red ink is still flowing at Carnival, at Norwegian, and at Royal Caribbean. The red ink is flowing big time. And fuel, we're $120 a barrel, more or less now out of Texas. You may recall that when oil broke $70 a barrel years ago, like 10, 12, 14 years ago, back then they had the $10 a day surcharge, the fuel surcharge. That is still in effect. The cruise lines have the right to impose a $10 per person per day fuel surcharge. They're not doing it right now. They don't dare do it right now because they can't even get their ships to 100%. So they're trying to encourage people to book. I'm curious whether they're offering any of you guys unbelievable deals. Let me know if you can. But I suspect that is exactly what's going on. Because I did notice earlier today, I was looking at, if you guys know about vacationstogo.com, I was looking up different cruises just for fun, and I was noticing, interestingly, even out of Vancouver, from July into August, September, you can take 7-day cruises out of Vancouver on Holland America, and you can get balconies for $454 a week per person, $461, $489. I mean, these are deals. The Norwegian Sun out of Seattle, $491 for 5 nights. You can take cruises. Let's take a look here. A Royal Princess ship, $551 for a 1-week cruise, Vancouver to Anchorage. Just all kinds of bargains. The Koningsdam, the Holland America Koningsdam, $674 for a balcony for a week. That's less than $100 a night. Late June, like later this month, like very end of the month. This is prime season. Deals, and more deals. It's not surprising that in the past, you want to take a cruise in July, August, you're talking $1,100-1,200 a person for a balcony, and then add on all the other charges. But right now, Celebrity Solstice, 7 nights, June 17th, $998. Let's see here, Norwegian Bliss, 7 nights, June 25th, $1,074. Return to Seattle. These are deals. I mean, these are really discounted prices that are being quoted here. So yeah, all kinds of deals. Just taking a look here at even Bermuda cruises. I can see some in the 1,000 range to 1,100 range. Norwegian Pearl, Celebrity Summit, Enchantment of the Seas. Caribbean cruises, of course, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days on Carnival Glory, $610. Carnival Vista from Galveston, 7 days, $634. Port Canaveral on Harmony of the Seas, one of the big ships, the Oasis class, $708. Balconies, 6 nights on the Carnival Horizon, nice ship, $722. Unbelievable. The Celebrity Equinox, $800 for the week. The Mardi Gras, 7 nights. September 3rd, Port Canaveral. Return, 814. That ship's barely a year old. Yeah, there's some real deals. Symphony of the Seas, Harmony of the Seas, 912, 933, 942. 1 week cruises. Yeah, we're talking bargoons being handed off right now by the cruise lines. Larry from Sun City, Arizona is here. Cooler today, only 106. Welcome, Larry. Big differences, Paper City Gamer Jeff, in travel dollars. Larry, gas at $5.50 in Arizona. Unbelievable. Tom Henry, I have not seen any deals with Norwegian, Bruce. Most of the current offerings are considerably higher than my booked pricing. I have 20 booked through November 2024. Tom, Prima, Transatlantic, and the Jade Cape Town to Dubai are running almost double what we paid. Unbelievable. Hi, all from Sharon. Tom Henry, hi there, Sharon. Paper City paid $500 each for the 4 of us in a 3-room suite on the Joy, May 22nd. I went and booked that last minute in April. Nice. Hi there, Tom from Sharon. There are deals if you shop for them. That is for sure. I was just looking at vacationstogo.com for the 90-day tracker. Unbelievable. What else have we got? Not much else. I think that's pretty well does it. The big news this week was the American dropping of the testing, the negative testing requirements. I know that is a pain in the rear end that we are glad to see gone for Jen and I. Not that we're planning a trip anytime soon to the U.S., but it was just nice to know that we don't have to worry about that anymore. We don't have to have testing to come back into Canada anymore either. You got the vaccine, you're good to go, and that's okay with me. Nikki is saying to Sharon, congrats on running your New York City race. Great picture. Well done. Lots of speculation here about the summer traveling season. Hopefully we won't get any ridiculous numbers for the virus. We're watching the virus numbers closely, hoping that things stay calm. We'll see how this all plays out. Time will tell. Sharon, in theory, we're 32 days away from our Oasis of the Seas cruise. Fingers crossed. Last year, we got within 2 weeks of the cruise before it was canceled. So hopefully this will happen. Paper City Gamer Jeff, do you think cruises would ever drop, have to be vaccinated, or will that be another year or 9? Well, the vaccination thing might be a requirement of governments for quite some time as one last lingering thing. It's not the cruise line's decision. They can't make the decision. It's the country in which they operate. And I get the impression that because cruises start in the States and always go to another country, that the Cayman Islands, they won't allow anybody in there without being vaccinated. Jamaica won't do it. Dominica or Dominican Republic or San Martin, they won't allow passengers in without being vaccinated. And if they are recovering in their tourism numbers to the point of prior years, they're not going to drop it. And so they're going to insist for the cruise lines that this is the way it's going to be. And so the CDC will probably go along with it. It's just my opinion. I could be wrong on that. Sharon, Nikki, thanks. I'm so glad to have done it after planning it for 3 years. Larry, going on a British Isle cruise on the Emerald Princess this August. Thrilled that we don't have to take a COVID test getting back to the USA. Sharon, I'm in favor of vaccine mandates for cruises. I'm just hoping they drop the testing requirement because that's such a hassle. And this is where I have a beef about that testing. You never know what you're going to have to pay for it. And you could get ripped off badly. And this really bugs me. It's always bugged me. I say that if an airline, if a government insists on testing, then the government should offer the testing. Now, I'm not saying it has to be free, but I am telling you, I've heard horror stories of people who got, tested at the last minute, $300, $500 a person. That is outrageous. That is a complete ripoff. These tests are 99 cents, $2 each max. They can be done for $10, $15, $20, no problem, in volume. And that's what we're talking about, in volume on cruise ships or in airports and so on. But I don't like the idea where innocent travelers are now having to go to some private clinic somewhere and pay 100, 200, 300 bucks for a test that is clearly a $3, $4 exercise. It is a joke. So, but in any event, we'll see what happens going forward now with tests. Is it a thing of the past? Is a vaccine record good enough? We don't know. We'll find out. But it has been a long haul, hasn't it, folks? Since 2020 to now, it's been a long, long haul. And I sure would like to be on the end of this curve. I sure hope we're on the end of it. Long term, we'll see. In any event, there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for all of you joining me today from around the world. It's so great that you pop in to see us. Jen and I really appreciate it. We're in Vienna, Austria, and we're heading to Zurich later this week. We'll see you next week from Zurich, letting you know what the Switzerland experience is like. Thank you for all of you who are here watching us live for the thumbs ups. If you're watching on a rerun, please hit the thumbs up button for us. Give this channel a little extra ammo. We have 30 thumbs ups going right now. If any of you are out there able to hit the thumbs up button right now before we say our goodbyes, I would appreciate it. Thank you all so much for your kind words and support, your wonderful messages. We truly enjoy it. Hopefully you've enjoyed the videos we've uploaded so far from Europe. I sure hope you enjoyed the miniature museum videos that we did the last week or so. I know a lot of you sent me messages saying, I love this stuff. That's great. We're going to keep it going. We've got more train videos coming your way, other videos from other cities coming your way, and we'll do the best we can to keep you filled in on how it's going for two 66-year-olds with limited mobility issues on the road, putting on the miles and hitting those rails with our Euro Pass. Our Euro Rail Pass is working out, and I'm very happy about that. John Gill, Bruce, I was number 7 tonight for your thumbs up meter. Thank you, John, for that. I do appreciate it. Okay, guys, that's it from here. We just got a few more thumbs ups coming in at this point. Thank you for that. Have a great week, and keep your eyes open for more videos as we go along here. And we'll see you next Monday from Switzerland. How about that? Thank you all. Take care. Bye for now.